sensitive. But my main function here is as a social educator. We're right now at skolen in Skolen, Skanderborg Municipal. And this is a school for kids who for some reason can't attend regular schools. About half of them have got some kind of social disorder, like ADHD or some other diagnosable things. Others just come from. Others have just experienced such hard times that they have a hard time attending normal school. So level 1 is actually really basic stuff, like putting your clothes in your locker and being quiet when there's assembly, and starting your assignments when you're told to do it. Stuff like that. Really basic mechanical, if you will, stuff. Level 2 is more abstract already. It's about talking in a proper manner, talking properly, being observant on on their peers if they succeed, and raising their hand to speak, for instance. So it's a bit more abstract, but it's still really basic. And level 3 over here is then again on a higher abstraction level. It's about changing activities in a quiet way, and when it's been tough, then on this level 4 we're talking about virtues. So when they exhibit certain virtues, we try to make a note of it and give them a point, and then they use these points usually for buying what we call free play. So 2 times a week they have the chance to buy free play for their hard-earned virtue coins. Yeah, these are like the progress bars. Right now every pupil in the class is at the same level, but sometimes you would have like one that was in front of the others. Make it clear to them that they are falling behind when they're not participating. Because before they would have a feeling that it didn't matter. It was all the same anyway. But now if they stay home sick one day, they'll notice that the others have... and kids with these specific problems respond very well to visual stimuli. So right now when we're playing Age of Empires Online, we're partly doing it because it's an RTS game that trains certain specific skills, like focus and patience, and multitasking and cross-checking and cooperation. But we also chose it because right now part of the curriculum is ancient Egypt, and it's set in ancient Egypt. So we can draw these relations between the usual suspects that you would have in school and the games, and it will make the suspects more relevant to them. Work like this, we encourage them to draw parallels between real life and the games, and compare them, and point out the differences or the similarities, and where are the games and the story that the game tells accurate, and when it is fiction and stuff like that.
What age?
Well,
gender, I saw guys on there.
Not only guys, but usually the kind of kids we get here, the kids that exhibit these symptoms that we get, they're usually guys. They're usually boys, but they're not only boys. We have 2 girls at this school as well. The kids that come here are usually kids who act outwards. So they get physical when they get frustrated. They usually have low tolerance for defeat, for feeling of defeat, for failure. They usually exhibit a lack of focus. They get easily distracted. They're usually really sensitive kids, actually, the kids that end up here. What really strikes me as the key concept is what I believe is the most important, and what I've learned through this is that the context in which you learn has to provide meaning to the material that you learn, because without meaning, learning is meaningless. I mean, and you don't want to do meaningless things. So everything we do has to tap into the kids or the students' worlds to make it engaging and encouraging. One of the things that I feel is mostly wrong with this whole gamification trend is that I feel that a lot of people think that if you throw a bunch of badges and a bunch of points at something, then it's a game and then it becomes engaging. And to me, points is not a game. Points and badges do not make a game. If that were true, then creating a game where you have to hold down the mouse button to obtain games would be the most fun game in the world, because you would just obtain points all the time, badges for holding down the mouse pointer. But it's meaningless. They're here to show progress, because progress is also motivating. But progress without meaning isn't. My dream, my future plans for this is actually taking this into the regular school. I think that that's a way better
Environment.
yes, it's a better environment also for these kids who are experiencing regular school to be hard, who doesn't succeed there. And I think that if you take these principles and these methods and these theories and put them into regular school, you will make it easier for the kids who don't fit in to actually fit in. And I also think that regular kids in regular school will
Learn something.
yeah, I think their learning will be accelerated as well. One of the key things that I think that the kids have told me in interviews that they took away from last year was that this was not something that we measured, this was their own observation, that they had become better learners. They had become...
Well,
there's a lot more stuff to be done, and there's a lot of things that we're still battling with. Of course there is. And we need to be changing all the time.